Nobody tells you that changing your life is actually a lot less glamorous than it looks and than it sounds. Sometimes it's completely downsizing your apartment.
That is exactly the season that we're in right now. We realized that the life that we wanted wasn't just going to start for us, so we decided to make decisions that future us would thank us for. Living in Toronto is not cheap, so we were like spending over like $1,000 in rent
Each.
So imagine like if you're not like getting a really high paying job, it's hard to keep up with the bills. So we're like, something has got to give. Let's be smart about like our moves instead of just looking at just being luxurious and like wanting everything to be perfect. Let's be a little bit uncomfortable.
All of our money was going towards living in Toronto.
Yeah. So I was like, how are we supposed to make like moves if like all of it is going to this? That makes no sense.
I felt very strongly that I want to leave this city. I know that future me does not live here anymore. It was cool for the moment, but now it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I felt like the city to me feels like it's just, if you're really comfortable and you want to be a local, it's a vibe. But I was like, no, this doesn't align with me wanting to be the creative that I am.
It was a very bumpy ride. We moved out of our condo thinking, okay, we're just going to downsize and get a roommate. That's the cheapest way, right? We're going to share a room. We're going to save money this year with the goal to move out of the city. So obviously we don't want to spend all our money on the city. So that was the goal. But finding a roommate in Toronto is very difficult. For those who don't know, it's very difficult. And then when we did find a roommate, it was hell on earth. All hell broke loose.
Anytime we had a roommate, it was a nightmare.
It was an absolute nightmare. And if you listen to our podcast, which you should, Remy Unfiltered, you can hear about the absolute batshit insane situations that we went through in Toronto. And it got us to the point where we were living in Airbnbs. And that was a nightmare on its own.
Like literal hell.
All of that is to say we were suffering and going through that because we refused to give up and just sign a lease for $2,600 or whatever. And just go, we're stuck. That's why. Because people have always asked, how did you do this for so long? Why did you stay in those situations where you were kind of unstable and bouncing around for that long? Because it was either that or signing the lease and deciding defeat and being like, it's not going to happen. I can't downsize. I can't have a nice place and pay $1,800.
Yeah, because we're like, everyone will say to you, that's crazy that you even want to spend that much money. Like, that's impossible to be comfortably living downtown for $1,800 or like whatever amount like we're trying to spend.
Area, a nice place.
Less than $2,000 to want that is insane.
And we were like, okay, well, then I'll guess I'm crazy. And I'm going to stick beside that insanity.
Basically, like really leaning into being delusional.
So we accomplished the first goal, which was finding a really nice place in a really nice neighborhood. And we live in a very nice neighborhood, downtown Toronto. People are really confused when we tell them the area.
Yeah, like I be dying like in my head, like when people's facial expression when I tell them where I live, and I'm like, because they just didn't expect it. And I'm like, I mean, period. That's not being delusional. Okay, so now we have moved in, but we pretty much had to like spend a lot to get here and have this place. So we don't have the necessary funds to just get a bunch of furniture. So our house is empty at this moment.
Yeah, it is empty, but it is still the first step. So when it comes to rebuilding your own life, I feel like a big part of what inspired me was seeing a lot of young women on TikTok who would tell stories about how they just randomly decided to move to whatever country. This is actually what sparked this for me. I remember, I don't know, I felt like the universe was sending me messages. I kept seeing all these different women that'd be like, oh, I just decided to move to Mexico and it's the best time of my life. Or I always thought I should move to Germany and I just decided I'm going to do it. I'm 28 and I realized I've just been playing life safe and I realized I have free will and I can move. And then they will tell you how they feel like their life flipped upside down in a positive way, and how a lot of the times we don't realize that the reason your life feels stagnant is because of where you are.
It's the location, babe.
Literally the location. And I felt like I have finished my journey in Toronto. I feel like Toronto was the building stage from discovering myself, all of that. But now I literally feel like I don't belong here.
Yeah, I feel like everything that I was supposed to do, like I already did it. So it feels like my body just can feel my soul's supposed to be somewhere else now.
Yeah. And it's really strange. I knew I wanted to live abroad. I didn't know where, but in the beginning, what kept calling to me was two spots, which is so random. It was Spain and Portugal. And mind you, I've never been to either one of these places. But like, I just felt very called to them, especially Spain. I'm like, that is extremely random.
It is.
But when something is pulling you towards something, I don't want to ignore those things. So that's why I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to look into Spain. So I started looking it up, just looking at the vibes. And I'm like, you know what? I actually could see myself here. I want to visit Spain. Never saw that coming. But then it made me go, okay, I want to be serious. I don't want to just say, that'd be nice. I want to be like, no, we're going to move abroad. We're going to pick one of these places and we're going to go there.
Europe for sure was calling to me in general. But then when Melissa especially was like doing a lot of the research, and then also things were popping up on my TL because we've been talking about it, I felt like the way of living that Spain has made the most sense compared, because all the things that I was looking for in Toronto, I just felt like I was missing certain things, ways of living here. For example, community. I feel like the weather isn't the best for someone who's like naturally creative. And even just, I love eating healthy and different things like that. I always just felt like the living way that we've been living here, it could be better. And based on everything we saw, Spain was giving. It was giving an elevated version of ourselves.
And I feel like the biggest thing that I was looking for when I was like thinking of where we would go is where would we feel alive? Because I feel like I'm the only person alive in Toronto, and it's uncomfortable. It's weird. I feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because everyone around me is high key dead inside. They have told me, you should leave the city. You got too much energy. People have said, oh, you got so much ambition, you should leave here. I swear to you, people have said that to me.
People are aware of themselves. They know, like, oh yeah, like this is not for you. Like this place doesn't have that. They're aware of the environment. They know how the city is. It's actually really jarring because you would think, I feel like because we're American, I'm used to people being like, this is my amazing city. What do you want? Here, they're very aware. Like, yeah, like shit don't be happening. Oh yeah, people don't support you here. Oh, you're not probably going to be famous here. Yeah, you should probably, literally, these are verbatim words I'm repeating that I can remember. That someone's like, literally, oh, you thought you'd be famous here? Like, no.
They're like, you guys have cool so ideas. Cute. Why are you doing it here? What's wrong with you? Do you know they hate people who have big ideas in the city?
Like, they're telling us this. They'll confidently tell you, like, yeah, like, there's like lack of prosperity. There's no community.
They don't believe in
that's going to push you forward. It's definitely not Canadian. Canadians in general, I'm picking up, it's not that energy. It's only like niche people that maybe know you that'd be like supporting you. Yeah. And then I notice Canadians will support you when you become big everywhere else. And they're like, oh my God, you're Canadian. Like, period. Let's support.
Yeah, literally, like, she's a Toronto native. All right, baby girl.
I feel like if Drake didn't, like, Drake loved his own city. You know what I mean? He loved his own city, so the city loved him back. But I feel like even in his own songs, y'all didn't love him. Yeah. Y'all didn't rock with him. He gave y'all love because he knew that he was going to become something.
Exactly.
But he went through a lot where people didn't believe in him. They thought he was weird for moving big.
We just knew, let's make a change. I wanted that decision to feel real and to feel concrete, and less like us just being like, wouldn't it be cool if one day in life we go to Europe? I'm like, okay, so we've been talking a lot about different places in Europe. We seem to be talking a lot about Spain. Everyone speaks Spanish there. So
that was the thing where it was like, oh, okay, well,
if everybody speaks Spanish there and I feel like I could end up wanting to go, I'm going to start learning Spanish. I'm going to make sure that I can communicate with my future people.
Yeah, so like I don't really like just being somewhere where I don't know what's happening. So we've been like locking in and learning the Spanish.
So like that's, I would say, another really big decision that we have made that I find has shifted my life in a way I didn't expect, which is why I think it's really important to go towards the things that you feel drawn to. Because like, again, I cannot explain to you why I was drawn to Spain or Portugal. I cannot explain that to you. But just investigating these areas, I understand Spanish is not the language of Portugal, but it's actually very similar to Portuguese.
Yeah, it's very close.
But the point is, that led me to learning another language, and I have been learning it. She's been learning it. I've been falling in love with learning Spanish. I've been watching a lot of telenovelas. Falling in love with telenovelas. I feel like I'm just falling in love with the entire learning process. And I feel like it's unlocked something even deeper. And it's not just, oh my God, I'm just going to learn so I can go to this country now. Now, if I wasn't going anymore, I still want to learn.
And it's just fun. I think it's also really good for your brain to like learn new things. You become even more creative, and if you're creative, you want to just keep finding ways to be better. Why not? So the next thing that we really like thought was really important in order to shift us forward to our future selves is to treat our actual creative jobs as a career, and taking time to create actual structure than just like having loose ideas everywhere. I'm someone that I have so many ideas coming through my mind 24/7, and I struggle as a neurodivergent balancing everything, because not only do I have these ideas, I have everyday life happening at the same time, which I have to show up for, which can be a lot on my nervous system, to a point where I sometimes struggle keeping up with my creative goals. But then it's like, okay, then what? If I have all these like dreams and stuff, like how are you making it happen when you're not doing aligned action?
So for us, we didn't want to have any more excuses. There are so many things, like, if for those who don't know, creatively, we have so many goals. Number one, like, I'm writing a book, but it's a part of a multiverse I'm creating, because I'm going to do a short film and I want to do like a TV pilot. She is trying to release her first song. She's trying to then work on putting out her first project, like a short EP. She's also trying to build her modeling portfolio and start getting some like commercial gigs for acting. We are extremely creative, as you can see and hear. That's our realm. We love that shit. So we hate when life gets in the way, so much so that we can't keep up with those things. I feel like I'm not living in my truth.
Because I feel like for me, my ordinary life isn't my truth. My higher self doesn't feel fulfilled at all. I'm doing what the Matrix wants me to do in order to like be here and function properly. But then my creative dreams are like dying.
So we decided like we need to really make the decision that the creative dreams aren't optional. They never were, but it's time to live like that every day. As in, no, what do you mean you didn't have time to record a video? Do you not have time to go to your work shift? That's not a thing. You still go because you have to.
Yeah.
So now everything we do, not only is it structured and planned, we are putting it in like a shift. And I feel like for those of you who struggle with committing to your creativity, start scheduling them as shifts, non-negotiables. So if you need to go shoot content and you need photos, don't just say, okay, next weekend I'm gonna do that. No, next weekend, book a reservation for a restaurant for the place you're gonna go to take the pictures at. Put your credit card information in, because you're gonna get charged if you cancel. This is what I mean by get serious.
Yeah, like, and if you get punished, it's a way to remind yourself that this is not a joke for your own life.
It's not a joke. So for us, we've really been planning all of the things we're going to do, not only just with this YouTube channel, but just all the creative goals that we had just told you. It's about scheduling it throughout the week, like making sure every week I have advanced another page in a story.
Oh, yeah. So like for me, like I'm working towards like making sure I'm doing something that is pushing along my music career. And there's different moving parts. So regardless, my goal is to do at least one thing a week that is pushing something forward.
Yeah.
Because it's about consistency. It's not about being perfect or being finished.
Yes. Consistency is what builds reward. And we just want to always be consistent towards our creativity and not have to pick and choose which parts get the consistency. So that's another thing. If you have a lot of goals, don't think, okay, because I have a lot, that means every week I have to give to each goal.
Mm-hmm.
Every week, give to one of them. This week, we will shoot pictures for her modeling portfolio. We'll shoot her comp card. Next week, we will take headshots for the acting. We're not going to do all 5 of those things that today. And we're also going to record a piece of your song today. We're not going to do all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're not like, I am someone who cannot handle too many things. With my neurodivergence, I'm learning my strengths and weaknesses. I'm better choosing one thing and sticking to it and at least getting one thing done. Because too many things can get you to a point where you're so overwhelmed that you do none of it. And you don't want that.
The key takeaway is that if you want people to take your art seriously, you have to take it seriously.
Yeah.
You need to show up and be dead ass, because this isn't a game and it's not just ideas floating in your head. Take them out of your head.
Yeah. Make it reality.
Yeah. Put it on some paper. Get to planning, babe.
We are basically like also trying to invest in our future selves. So like there's different ways to do that. And like one of the biggest things for me is like my fitness and how I take care of my everyday health. That's like very, very important. So like I've implemented being strict. It's a huge part of it. Having certain things in your everyday life that is very non-negotiable. For me, I need to make sure I'm getting my steps in.
Yeah.
At least 5,000 steps at least. Yeah. And like that's like a huge part of it. Like it's also knowing like different fitness plans. So for me, like I also am really mindful of how much I'm eating every day. I try to lean towards always eating food that is whole foods and fresh, like whole foods, not processed foods. I personally try to avoid that as much as I can, unless like, and I also don't I also make sure I enjoy food, but leaning towards doing things for what my future self would be happy for me to do, which is eating clean. And also, I mean, also for my everyday lifestyle is trying to implement things like not scrolling on my phone too much and like just finding ways to stay focused that can better myself for like the future.
So yeah, I feel like making the decision to actually prioritize my health has made a big difference in, number one, how I perceive myself and how other people perceive me. Because when you pour into yourself, that is reflected. Caring about what you eat every day, like caring about the foods that you put into your body, whether it's processed, caring about if you are actually getting all of your fiber, you are basically showing other people that you do not play about you.
Exactly.
And they feel that. And it makes people treat you with more respect, as well as you're already treating yourself with more respect.
Yeah.
So making the decision to actually be disciplined with your everyday routines that help you grow, because if you cannot be disciplined in the simple everyday routines, it's not going to work for all of the other things, all of the career stuff and all of those other goals. It's not going to work if you are not able to even accomplish it with the small, quote unquote, mundane daily tasks.
And so you have to start small, in my opinion. Like that is starting small by doing the daily everyday tasks.
Yeah.
And I think like also to add on to like you helping yourself, like in your health, your mental health is the aspect of pouring into yourself, which is like affirmations,
journaling.
Like I think for myself, how I've leveled up every day is because I find ways to affirm myself every single day.
Yeah.
To remember my goals and who I am and who I will increasingly become in the future.
I feel like one big change that I've made that I feel like young me would be very surprised by, that I probably never thought would be something that I end up doing, is I really changed a lot of the music I listen to. And I'm not saying like I'm a prude with my music. That is not the truth. But I will say I have avoided listening to any self-deprecating type of music where the girl's on some like woe is me energy. And and let me be clear, I know there's some good songs that are like woe is me, like I understand. But because I'm so focused on not letting my brain, not letting any thoughts of limiting thoughts of any kind infiltrate my brain, I will not listen to your catchy chorus.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've made a lot of musical changes that I felt have helped me with my confidence and have made me feel more drive to go after what I want every day because of like the certain lyrics I'm listening to.
Yep. I feel like for me, like I have always struggled with perfection and like always looking perfect, never letting people see like the issues in my life. So for me, this is a huge step in becoming my higher self by showing you guys all like the journey of us becoming our higher selves and starting and trying. It's not going to be easy. It's uncomfortable. It's going to be a journey, but we want to show you guys all of that to show you it's okay to try.
And where's that quote from? I think it was from a Beyonce movie. I love it though. Do not be afraid to be seen trying. And I'm definitely not afraid to be seen trying. And we were like, in this era of rebuilding our lives from scratch, we don't want to only show up to give you guys advice and tell you, here's what you should and shouldn't do in this and like whatever. We want you guys to see that we are living every day trying to create the life that we tell you that you can create.
And it's just not all perfect. So we want to show you like how not perfect it is.
Yeah. We want to show you that even when it's not perfect, even when it seems very chaotic, we are still showing up. We're still going to show up. We're going to do everything we said because future me is going to be like period queen and you are going to be here to see all of it happen.
Yeah, you're going to see all of it happen. So get ready, buckle up to see the funny and the crazy, honestly.
Let us know how you are rebuilding your life. What is coming for you? What's
and
coming?
What is certain things that you feel like damn, I didn't think about that, I should have maybe start working on that.
Let me know what is a decision you think you're going to start making. And remember, this community is an open forum in the comment section for the girlies.
Comment down below.
So we hope you enjoyed and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.